Welcome back to Double Al. My name's Al. We are here today with the other Al, as always. We have no guests this week, although it does look like we have someone to your right. We have little
Yeah,
Joey.
I figured we should get producer Joe. He's only been on one episode so far this season, so I figured we should get him on for another one. And luckily, he was able to join me live. So, Joey, how are you doing today? Very insightful. Very
Inspiring,
insightful. Yeah,
inspiring. You have a sponsor for today?
I do. Yeah, it's a pretty classic Christmas time sponsor. I'll let you take a guess. I'll let you take a guess.
Some sort of spiked eggnog?
No, you're close.
Oh, all right. What do we got?
I think I've had it on the show every year we've done it. I've got a little hot chocolate with the peppermint rum chata in there.
There we go. The rum chata. That's
Classic.
Sponsor
How
on
about you?
my side today. We got Liquid IV Hydration Multiplier. This is the
Ah,
tropical punch flavor.
wow.
Pretty good. I
It
just
was
have it in
water,
flour in
and
here.
then it was water, and you decided that you needed to go even more hydrating.
All right, so we had a bunch of trades going on in the last 2 weeks. Apologies, first of all, for not being here last week. We had some holiday travel we had to deal with, so we'll be covering 2 weeks of games here.
We were at the bars.
Yeah, we were drinking. We'll start out with we were drinking water and flat soda at certain bars, but
It was booze.
we will start out with week 11, move into week 12, and then we'll preview week 13. But first, we'll go over the trades for the last 2 weeks.
Sounds good.
Bobby and Zane had a trade where Bobby received back his third round pick and Zane's 11th round pick and Aaron Jones, trading away Javonte Williams, Raheem Mostert, and his 16th rounder. So those two are really confusing me. I'm not really sure what's going on, but a lot of players, a lot of picks moving around. I don't really know who's got what pick at this time, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. The Mahelke trades hurt my brain sometimes.
Yeah, they do. But Aaron Jones is now at least hurt for 1 week. I don't know. He might be playing this week, but Bobby's probably not too happy about that.
No, probably not.
The rare divisional trade that we see.
Yeah, why don't you tell me about this trade you've been talking about, the one you made with Devin?
Yeah, receiving Cooper Kupp, giving away C.J. Stroud and Christian Kirk. Yeah, just trying to get a slight upgrade in wide receiver. Felt like I had two good quarterbacks. And then C.J. Stroud goes and puts down a 30 burger after I traded him away. So I think I sent away the wrong one.
Be honest. Did you do this to upgrade your wide receiver? Or did you just want to have somebody on your team to root for when we go to the Giants game?
Both.
Okay,
No
that's
one,
fair. That's an honest answer.
no one's ever seen Cooper Kupp and myself in the same room either. So
That's true. We'll finally have proof potentially.
he is like 4 inches taller than me and like 70 pounds more, but we're the same person.
That's what they list him as.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I want to see him next to Kyler Murray.
Exactly.
And
Maybe they give him stilts.
Devin and Dom had a trade here. Devin, part of a lot of trades. I don't think he's very happy with his team. Cole Kmet and Devonta Smith he received for Adam Thielen and Chuba Hubba. So gets a tight end in and a pretty good wide receiver. Trades away a pretty good wide receiver and a running back.
Yep.
There might
Adam
be
Thielen, kind of boomer bust this year. I feel like he's had some really big weeks. He's also probably had some stinkers. It's just that Panthers offense is not looking too good. But hey, new head coach. We'll see. We'll see what they're able to do going forward here.
absolutely. And then another Devin trade receiving Rashad White and sending away Kareem Hunt. I apologize. There's also a draft pick that goes along with this. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think
it was a fifth for a seventh.
Yeah. So Devin's receiving Ryan's seventh, and Ryan's receiving Devin's fifth. So Devin's all in this year, even though it's not guaranteed he's going to make the playoffs.
Yep. Devin. I don't know. That feels like a little bit of a steal for Devin. I mean, a fifth round pick is pretty high, but
Yeah,
Rashad White has been pretty significantly better than Kareem Hunt this year.
yeah, I think he's coming in at like running back 5, But Ryan
Yeah,
honestly had way too many running backs. He couldn't play all the elite running backs he had. He might be having a little bit of questions about this trade after Jonathan Taylor was just reported to be going into thumb surgery. So he's
that's
going to
true.
be missing a few weeks, which in fantasy terms is like the whole season, pretty much.
Yeah, it's the rest of the year.
I mean, he might get back in like the last few weeks, but in the playoffs, we'll see. But yeah, if this does work out for Devin, he'll probably be happy.
Right.
But you know firsthand that if your draft picks, if your trades for draft picks don't work out, you kind of have a little bit of hindsight there.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see if I've got to deal with that. It's looking more and more likely every day, every week.
Yeah. All right. We will cover my game from week 11 first. I played Pranav and just barely came up short. The super unfortunate. Isaiah Pacheco played Monday night. If he put up his projected, he would have won. He had a pass and a little run, but Travis Kelsey had a hold. There were a few other runs he had where there were some holds, so just super unfortunate. And the Chiefs really should have won that game too, but go Birds.
Yeah, you and the Chiefs should have won your matchups this week.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say this week, I mean 2 weeks ago, week 11. But
Yeah.
you know, at this point, if you're playing against Pranav, you're not going to win. I'm sorry to say, it's just not going to happen.
He's going to win most of his games. Um, and then Kenneth Walker ended up leaving with an injury, so that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
But overall, 102 is not that good. I need
No.
like one more win this year to be comfortable with the playoffs. I had like a 95% chance going into this game to make the playoffs. Coming out of this week, I think I'm down to 70. So I'm trying as hard as I can not to make it, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, some of us are bound for the ladder of sadness, and that's okay.
I don't think. No, I might be in the ladder of sadness. We'll see what happens. I really hope I'm not. All right, another close game from week 11. Devin beat Dom 93-91.
True.
And it was really close considering Joe Burrow had to exit this game with a wrist or some sort of arm injury, and he's going to be out for the rest of the year. So Devin's not too happy about that considering he just traded for Joe Burrow. However, he did, as we covered earlier in the show, make another trade for another quarterback from me, the same person he got Joe Burrow from. Ends up coming away with a win here. And
True.
If Dom got this win, he would have been pretty much guaranteed playoffs. But everyone in that division ended up losing this week.
Classic thing for my division to be doing.
Classic Division 3 thing to do right there.
Yeah, not much to talk about from this game besides, you touched on Burrow's injury. Josh Allen was really the one bright spot for Dom. I guess Cortland Sutton was solid. And then David Montgomery was good. Tony Pollard was good. But yeah, besides that, not too much to talk about.
No, Antonio Gibson didn't put up any points and was projected 0. So that's interesting. Maybe Dom wasn't checking his phone Sunday or something because literally 2 points and he's got this win. Would have been super unfortunate for Devin. So good for Devin.
Would have been super unfortunate for me as well.
Yeah. All right. Ryan beats Ian 131-109. Pretty good game from Ryan. Ryan's team actually looks pretty scary with the amount of points he's able to put up on a pretty consistent basis. And Ian is out of playoff contention now, so don't have to worry about him here. Saquon put up 30, so that's nice.
Yeah, Saquon put up 30. I think 109 is Ian's highest score in like 6 weeks or something like that. So
That might be the case.
good job to Ian for stepping up and getting one of his higher scores. But yeah, Ryan had a great week. Christian McCaffrey did his thing. DK Metcalf was really good, and Tank Dell was really good for Houston there. His connection with CJ Stroud has been really good. So
Yeah, Texans have been good.
yeah, their offense looks good.
Fun to watch. Good job, Ryan.
Absolutely. Good job, Ryan.
All right, I'm sorry this game had to happen to you, but Joey puts up 132. You didn't even give him a fight, putting up 84.
Nope.
What the heck happened here? You played Devon Achan, and Stephon Diggs only put up 6.7 after you traded for him. So just everyone decided to not do their job in 1 week, except for Brian Robinson Jr.
Yeah, and Calvin Ridley, who unfortunately was on my bench. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. Even with those guys, or even if I had started, because I was debating starting DeAndre Hopkins in the flex and moving Brian Robinson to the running back too, and just sitting HN because it was his first week back from IR. And I should have done that. It would have gotten me more points, but it also would have just gotten me more points to put Calvin Ridley in instead. Um, so I wasn't going to start Calvin Ridley regardless. So he's looked good the last 2 weeks though now, so he'll be in my starting lineup for the next couple weeks. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and then on Joey's team, I mean, Brandon Ayuk finally having a good season. Puka Nakua continuing pretty good production. And the Bills defense, solid game.
Yeah, yeah. It was a good week for Joey. It was a bad week for me. I think Joey had the highest score that week. So
Good for him.
nobody was beating him last week or 2 weeks ago, I should say. But it would have been nice to. That's for sure.
I feel like it was a tough week for everyone.
Yeah.
Jeff wins against Bobby, 127 to 98. Bobby played a free agent kicker, which I guess they got dropped. Just like I think this has happened before, actually.
Yeah.
We were talking about this last time,
Uh,
so that's interesting. But Jeff came away with the win here. Tyreek Hill putting up 30. Kyler Murray had a pretty good game too. AJ Brown had one of his rare bad games. I do believe that game was in the rain.
mhm.
So that was pretty rough. But good week for Jeff. Bad week for Bobby.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Bobby's fighting to stay in that playoff hunt, and Jeff is also fighting to get in it. So
Hmm.
we'll have to take a look at the standings after we're done. But nobody's catching Pranav in that division. But
No.
Jeff's trying to get one of those wild card spots.
Hmm. Yep. And then Owen Zane, important game for Zane, not so important for Owen considering he's now out. I mean, at the time, maybe important, but yep. Zane comes away with a victory, 124 to 111. Owen put up a fight here at least, so appreciate that. And Zane had a good performance from DJ Moore and George Kittle. Pretty good from Sam Howell too, I guess, for a backup quarterback. I don't think that's Zane's main quarterback. Maybe it is.
I don't think it is. I don't remember who it is, who his
Sam
main guy
Howell
is. But
a few weeks ago was leading the league in passing yards. He might still be, but
yeah,
who's that?
um,
Rico Dowdle is
Rico Dowdle.
in his running back two slot. That's interesting. He must have had some bye week troubles.
Must have, or injury troubles.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, just looking at Owen's team, not a ton to talk about, but Gus Edwards has been really good this year, taking over for J.K. Dobbins in that running back one role for the Ravens.
Absolutely. All right, we can get into week 13 now. So, the most recent week, Jeff beat Devin. Devin was not too happy about this, hearing from him, because they are both in a pretty tight wild card battle here. And Jeff came away with one of the highest scores of the week there. Devin put up a pretty good fight, getting 30 from CJ Stroud, 22 from Tony Pollard, getting 12.9 from his recently added Christian Kirk, but not enough to fight against Jeff here.
Yeah, it was just a great game overall for Jeff. Mondre Stevenson was really good. Tyreek Hill was very good. Nico Collins was really good, and you touched on some of Devin's guys, but just wasn't enough. 134 is a good score. It'll win you a lot of weeks, but unfortunately not this week for Devin.
Hate to call out a certain individual every single time we talk about trades on this show, but I don't think one of the people on here, I won't say which one it is, one of them doesn't understand that a trade has two sides and you can't just like completely take advantage of the other person. Uh,
Oh, but
I won't say who offered me Nico Collins for TJ Hawkinson. But listen, that's not a good trade. There's got to be reason for both parties to accept the trade.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's also the philosophy a lot of times that you see with this is the one good player for three average players, and thinking that that's a good deal just because you're getting three players in return.
Yeah,
It's not.
it's not how it works. One particular player on this slide I won't mention, who may or may not be real. All right, Pranav 149 to Ryan's 118. This was the highest score of the week, so good job to Pranav. Really solid performance. If he keeps doing this, he is going to have no problem in the playoffs and probably have no problem in the Tree Rumble. Uh, his team is just super impressive. I love
Yeah,
just looking at it. The only spot I don't like is Kyle Pitts at tight end. And I'm not
yeah,
trying to, coast a trade out of him because the trade window's closed, so that's not going to happen. But if he had I don't even know, like a top four tight end right there, that'd be a beautiful team.
yeah, yeah. The Falcons just do not use Kyle Pitts the way that they should. But when you get they sometimes they use Bijan Robinson like he should like they should, and you'll get 27.3 out of him. Also, a great game for Dak going against the Commanders. So, yeah, overall a really good week for Pranav. And looking at Ryan's team, you've got McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor, who unfortunately is now injured, and then it's a lot of not a ton else for him.
Yeah, I do. I still think Ryan has a shot to get into the playoffs. We'll get into that. I think
Yep.
he needs maybe another win or two to get in, but that division has some tough interdivisional matchups the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It could be tough. All right, Allen versus Ian. You came away with a victory, a needed victory here.
Mhm.
You have to close out the season, winning every single week if
Mhm.
you want a chance at the playoffs.
Yep.
And you got it here. Unfortunately, we haven't covered it yet, but spoilers, Dom got his win too, meaning you still have to win out. But good win against Ian here. Ian eliminated from playoff contention. And 80's not going to win games. 108 barely wins games, but good job.
Yeah, I didn't have a great week, but I had a good enough week to get the job done. Unfortunately for me, Travis Etienne has had a couple of not great weeks in a row at this point after having a really good start to the season. Brian Robinson also came back down to earth after two games in a row that he was really good. And then Jamar Chase and Stephon Diggs have still just not been the type of players I need them to be. Diggs since trading for him, but Jamar Chase ever since the draft when I picked him up with my fifth overall pick. He has not been worth it. That's for sure. He's had a couple. He had a 150-point game. He's had a couple of solid games, but he has not been worth that fifth overall pick that I used on him this year. So that's unfortunate. But Calvin Ridley had another good game, and it was getting a little worrisome when the Lions defense started me out with a nice -0. That got scary.
Yeah,
But it was
fortunately, you came away with the win.
yep, it was enough.
And luckily, from Ian's loss here, we're going to have a great matchup with him against Owen next week.
Absolutely.
All right, I fell short from Joey this week. Fun fact, that trade I made with Devin, if I didn't do it, I would have won this game. Not important. We'll get a win this week or next week, and we'll be fine. Slide right into the playoffs. Good job to Joey. He needed this win to stay alive in the playoff hunt, and he's there now.
Yep.
It could happen.
Yeah. Great games from Jalen Hurts and Zay Flowers for him. Sam Laporta was really good. You'll take 17 from a tight end any day.
Jalen Hurts had a great 2 quarters. It was the second half, let's be clear. The first half, he had like 4 fantasy points, and then he decided to
Yeah.
hit 5 touchdowns pretty much in the second half.
Yeah, it was looking tough for Hurts, but 34 Joey will take that. Not a ton else going. I mean, the rest of his team was just solid. There wasn't a ton of besides Zay Flowers and Jalen Hurts, and also, I mean, again, Sam Laporta, you'll take 17.7 from a tight end any day, but I mean, besides that, it was just a solid effort all around from his team.
Yeah, it came down to Monday night. It was Zay Flowers and Austin Eckler, and I was, hoping they wouldn't score that much. Zay Flowers obviously had a great game. Um,
Yeah,
that was enough to put him over, but wasn't really expecting to win going into Monday night. Anyways,
yeah, yeah. That would have been a tough victory. Um, yeah, I mean Isaiah Pacheco was good for you. Jalen Waddle was pretty good, and then the Dolphins' defense was really good. So
yeah, it was a nice Friday.
it was looking good for your team for a while, but unfortunately, Joey was able to. Well, unfortunately for you, Joey was able to. I'm sure this guy right here is pretty happy about it, but
He's that guy's happy about it.
yeah,
All right, Mahelki Bowl, part two of the season. Yeah, part two.
pretty
Bobby comes
close.
away with the victory. Yeah, pretty close game here. It actually did come down to a pretty close game. We didn't think it was going to. And then who played Monday? Was it DJ Moore? Ended up putting a pretty respectable score up. It was just 4 points away.
Yeah,
What could have
got
been?
got Zane close, but unfortunately not close enough. Um, but it was, I mean, real good scores for both teams. Bobby's running backs, they did their thing, all above 20. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown's 18.5 also helped. And then for Zane, Keenan Allen and Mike Evans really good. And then DJ Moore was good, but like we said, not quite good enough. And then, his running backs were not anything particularly special, but anytime you're starting Royce Freeman and Samaje Perine and you're getting 13 from both of them, I think you're happy with that. I think if you're starting those two guys at running back, you're not exactly you're not exactly surprised if they both go under 10. So
Yeah. Luckily for Zane, 135 is a pretty respectable score, so that'll help him out in the points for conversation. I think he's still top three there
true,
for the
true,
wild card battle. He could still even win the division.
we could.
All right, Dom beats Owen here. He didn't really need this win to be in contention. Uh, so I think he just needs one more win or a loss from you, and he's guaranteed a playoff spot. So
Yep.
you were really hoping for Owen to win this game here. It was looking possible. Apologies. Throughout the week. Unfortunately, it did not happen.
Nope.
Dom had point 0.4 out of running back and still won the game.
Yeah, just a bad week for Owen. His team has really
Struggling.
gone
It's pretty
gone
struggling.
downhill. But he had a solid game from Debo, and the 49ers defense was good. And then I guess James Cook was also very solid. But besides that, not much going on for him. Josh Allen was really good in their loss against the Eagles, and then Devontae Smith was also in that game, was very good. So it was enough to get Dom to a victory. 121 points is solid. It'll win you a lot of games. It'll lose you some games as well, but it was a good game for Dom, and it was plenty enough to beat Owen.
Yeah, so let's take a look at our divisional fight. So Pranov pretty much has, well, he does have the division clinched at this point. There's no way with 2 weeks left that anyone's going to even touch him. And he has a really good shot to break the regular season record of 12 games. With 2 games left, he just needs to win one of them to tie, both of them to break the record, which would be the most impressive season that we've ever had in our, what are we, in the 6th year of the league? Are we in the 7th year?
We always try to remember when we
I think
started.
we are in the 7th year of the league.
Might be right. Yeah, we've been on ESPN since 2020, but
But up in in Division One, everyone in playoff contention. Jeff, Devin, and Ryan down there fighting for the wild cards. Jeff has a very good shot with his points for, and Ryan probably has to win out. I don't know. You might need 8 wins to get in comfortably. I think you need 8 wins to get in comfortably.
yeah,
Looking down at Division Two, that's a very tight matchup for the division. I mean, if I end up losing one, someone could win out, and yeah, I mean, anyone. This is anyone's game, really.
yep,
And as for the wild cards, anyone could also get in. Bobby's probably a little scared being a game back and having the lowest points for out of anyone in the wild card hunt.
yep.
But he wins out. He probably doesn't have to be worried with 8 wins.
Yeah, yeah, um,
He has to do. But
yeah,
I'm glad we have a lot of people fighting here. Really, the only two people that aren't in the playoff contentions are Owen and Ian. You go down to Division 3 where they are. It's you and
yep,
Dom. You got to win out, and he's got to lose out for you to make it in. ESPN gives you a 14% chance of doing that.
yeah. I've got the points for. I should presumably hold the points for the rest of the season. But I have a matchup coming up against him this week. I'm pretty confident I could win that, but the one thing I am worried about is the fact that he's playing Owen in the last week of the season, or he's playing Ian, sorry, in the last week of the season. I will be playing Owen. Again, I'm confident I can beat Owen, but I'm not confident that Ian can beat Dom, and that's what scares me. So, yeah,
So you need a little bit of luck on your side,
yeah. If I
not just
win,
this week, but next week as well.
if I win this week, then my it's only slightly in my hands if I can make the playoffs or not, which sucks. And the fact that it's Ian's team's hands that hold the majority of that power, because like you said, if Dom wins a game, he's in, and if I lose a game, he's in. So, um, yeah, he just needs to win. He controls his own destiny. He just needs a win at this point, and he's in.
I'm looking up through some of the other teams. If Dom does get in, I guess this goes for you too. You will be the only team likely that has more points against you than points for getting in. Bobby currently has more points against than points for, but he could turn that around pretty quickly. It's not that far away.
Yep.
And it's no guarantee that Bobby's going to get in. Although I know Bobby is one of our fans. I do think Bobby's going to get in. If I had to make my predictions right now, I'm going to put Dom in as the Division 3 winner,
Okay.
Zayn in as the Division 2 winner, Pranov in obviously as the Division 1 winner, and my three wild cards are going to be myself, Bobby, and Jeff.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
Do you have any predictions?
Oh, I'll go Pranav. I'll go with you winning Division Two. I'll go with. I mean, as unlikely as it is at this point, I'm still going to go with myself winning Division Three because I have hope. And then I will go with Joey, Zane, and Jeff as the wild cards.
All right, no love for Devin, even though he's got that extra win.
He does have the extra win, and I don't know, if Zane and Joey meet up at some point before the end of the season, the odds that both of them make the playoffs are probably pretty low. But so I didn't really take that into account, and I know that what, I'm going with Devin instead of Joey because I know that Zane and Joey are going to meet up before the season ends. So
And Devin watches the show and Joey doesn't, so give a little love out.
yeah, that what, that's also true. I also, gonna be honest, did not notice that the fact that Devin had more wins than Joey when I was saying that. So I just was looking at their place in the divisions. So there's that as well.
All right, shout out to Joey for the highest score of Week 11 and to Pranov for the highest score of Week 12. Pranov is the only team on here with 3 weeks. With 2 weeks left, will either of us make it on here? I'm going to say no. I don't think
I'm
we're
gonna say
gonna
no
do
as
it.
well.
Maybe in the ladder of sadness, one of us will put up a
Hey, I'm
pretty
not
high
making the
score.
ladder of sadness, so
Does Devin have the highest score of the year? That's embarrassing.
that is embarrassing. That was
Maybe
the week
5?
that I would have had the highest score of the week if I had started my defense. So,
Oh, yeah.
but I did not.
Oh, how the time changes.
Yeah.
All right, week 13. We have 2 weeks left in the regular season. It's really crunch time here. We got 2 divisional weeks left. We'll start off with the 2 Division 1 games. Apologies for not being able to speak English. Ryan versus Devin, Pranav versus Jeff. That first game there, Ryan versus Devin. I
I think I'll take Devin in that game.
think you'll take Devin. I think I'm going to go with Ryan in that game. He does
Okay.
have a running back out and just traded away one of his running backs. I think he'll find the flex option pretty nicely. I think he's going to come away with the win there.
Sure.
Pranov Jeff, I mean, that's a
I'm
fun
taking. I
game.
mean, I'm taking Pranov.
That's a
Doesn't
funny game
matter.
to predict, just because Jeff scores a lot of points, and Pranov just obviously has the best team.
Pranov wins. That's the difference. Is
If this
Pranov's
was
a winning team.
if this was one of Pronov's weeks to lose, it would be against Jeff. But I'm gonna go Pranov.
Yeah, I already said I will not be choosing against him for the remainder of the season. So I'm going Pranov.
Yeah, he's got to be the favorite for the league. He just has such a good team. All right,
Yes.
Joey versus Bobby, and myself versus Zane in Division Two. That first game there, Joey versus Bobby. I think Joey has the better team. Both teams have 6 wins, and they'll want to get to 8 to feel safe. This is the start of that, so it could be whoever loses this game falls out of playoff contention,
I would agree.
and definitely will fall out of division contention. Although neither of these teams will win if I'm able to pull out a win this week.
Mhm.
That's not true. The team who wins will be able to, but I'm going to go with Joey here.
I'm also going to go Joey. I think he's got a better team, especially after Bobby traded away Mostert. I think Joey's team's just a little bit better, so I will take Joey as well.
And then for my game, I think Zane's predicted a little bit higher of a score, but I'm going to go with myself in hopes that that helps.
Um, you know what? Because I want chaos to happen in that division, I'm taking Zane.
All right. It'll be a 3-way games 4 tie. At that point, we'll have 7, except for one team, which might be Bobby. Let's take a look at the next division. Owen Ian, the most exciting game of the week. This is a defense kicker bowl. Since both teams
Kicker
are
bowl.
eliminated, they decided to play kickers and defenses.
Mm.
You can analyze this one a little bit more. Owen is playing the Chargers defense, playing New England, and Jake Elliott, the I almost said Phillies, the Eagles kicker.
Okay.
Ian is playing the Colts defense, playing the Titans. And is his name Brandon? Yeah, Brandon Aubrey, the kicker of the Cowboys.
I'm going Owen.
I think I got to go with Owen, just considering that the Chargers are playing New England, even though the Chargers have one of the worst defenses in the league. They're playing New England.
Yeah, plus he's got the Eagles kickers, so
Yeah, he's got the Eagles kicker. I mean, the Eagles kicker's not doing a lot of field goals. He's doing a lot of extra points.
that's true. They do be tush pushing.
They do be tush pushing. So, I'm going to go with Owen here. For the
I'm also
Chargers.
going to go with Owen.
Last time the Chargers, even though they're a bad defense, last time they played a trash team, the Jets, they ended up putting up 26.
Yeah, so,
So we're going to go with Owen here.
no.
And then Dom Allen, the most important game for you so far this year, until next week, if you win
Yep.
it. I'm going to go with you here in hopes we can keep this battle a little more interesting going into next week and it doesn't end here. I want you to show your face next week. I don't want to do next week all alone. So
Now, I'm also going to be taking myself. I currently have a higher chance, according to ESPN, which, how much does that really mean? But the one thing I'm worried about is Stephon Diggs is on a bye, but he also hasn't been helping me that much anyway. So it's not like replacing him with DeAndre Hopkins is going to do much for my team. It'll do about the same for my team that it has having Diggs in the past couple of weeks. So I'm still going to take myself.
yeah, I'm going to take you here. Dom doesn't have a kicker in yet, but he should be able to put one in. I believe.
Yeah. Here's hoping that he doesn't, though.
All right. We didn't add anyone to the paid wall.
SMH.
I feel like we should have, but unfortunately, that did not cross our minds while we were getting ready to shoot this. We were shooting this a day late. Apologies. I was at a Syracuse basketball game. They were playing LSU, and no, Livy Dunn was not there. It was just the LSU basketball team.
What's the point?
I know, and they ended up losing by a lot. LSU, that is. Syracuse won that game pretty. It was never really in question.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Well, which Manning are you feeling today?
Oh, coming off a loss, probably top right. Um, not a good taste in your mouth. 2 weeks actually lost in a row. Um, so hopefully I can make that not three. How about you?
I think I'm going with the one of the OG pictures behind old Arch Manning there. The one of Peyton like doing the hands on the head, like because that's going to be me the next 2 weeks trying to will my team to 2 victories and Dom's team to 2 losses.
I think you can do it.
I think I can't. I think my team can do it. I'm worried about if Ian's team can do it. That's my one
If a
concern.
team that was 3-8 makes it into the playoffs, I'm going to be incredibly impressed.
I just need I need Ian's team to clutch up for me next week. I mean, I need to. I can't. I'm saying all this, and if I don't win this week, then it doesn't matter. So
Yeah, what if you win this week and Ian beats Dom, but then you end up losing to Owen next week? It's all for nothing.
that would be pretty funny, to be honest.
You need three important games to go your way over the next 2 weeks, and it could happen. But
It could.
yeah, if I was in your case, I'd be that Manning as well.
Yeah.
And then if you make it, you'll be Manning in the middle, with a big forehead, just that little smirk.
Yep. Exactly.
All right, do you have any questions for the audience this week?
Yeah, as usual, thank you everybody for watching another episode of Double Al. If you've made it to this point in the video, go ahead and comment down below your favorite use of microwaved honey buns. Just go ahead and drop that down in the comment section.
Not sure I understand the question.
I'm hoping for a good response from Ian. I'm hoping he responds to this one.
Does he watch this show?
Um, I, I don't know.
If we tell him to, he probably will.
Exactly. Or
Give
if I
him a
just tell him to
timestamp.
comment that. Yeah, exactly.
Timestamp. He'll find it.
Yeah, but microwave honey buns, what's your favorite thing to do with them?
I'm gonna say eat.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you want to give away your answer? Or are you gonna keep it a secret?
No, I think I'll keep it a secret.
You'll comment it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Roll the outro.
All right. Well, thank you again, everybody, for checking out this week's episode. A couple of different weeks of recapping here, and then we're previewing the last couple weeks of the regular season. Keeping check back in next week, and we'll be here to do it again. Hopefully on time this time. Thank you, everybody.
If you